The Amazing Spider-Man movies have faced a lot of criticism since their release, with a lot of people calling Andrew Garfield the worst Spider-Man adaptation on the big screen. We know that these were supposed to kick off Sony's own Spider-Man cinematic universe, but the failure of TASM 2 kind of killed those plans. If they did end up making this universe, I doubt it would be incredible. I mean, I do think these movies are underrated, especially The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but Sony's plans for the franchise just seemed a little odd. With Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man starting to receive more love, I thought I'd go back and give some of my thoughts on what I would have liked to see from this Spider-Man universe. This is the Amazing Spider-Man universe, done right. I'm gonna force myself to keep the first two movies the same and just share my ideas on where I would go from there. Meaning next after TASM 2 is The Amazing Spider-Man 3. The movie would begin with a very closed-off Peter, who's still mourning over the death of Gwen Stacy. He wouldn't go to college, hang out with any friends, and wouldn't even see Aunt May all that much after moving out into his own apartment, although he still drops by every now and then. Similar to how he'll likely be in the MCU's Spider-Man 4, Peter spends more time as Spider-Man than Peter Parker, dedicating most of his life to protecting the city in Gwen's name, trying to make sure no one else ends up like she did. Most interaction Peter gets is in his group grief counseling sessions, where he meets Mary Jane Watson, who attends the counseling due to the death of her Aunt Anna. Throughout the movie, we see Peter and MJ grow closer, with MJ even trying to ask Peter out, but Peter constantly forces himself to push away, thinking that it isn't safe for him to start relationships like this anymore. Not after what happened to Gwen. He can either choose to serve as Spider-Man or be happy as Peter Parker. As Spider-Man, Peter comes across the Black Cat, a thief constantly stealing from Oscorp Labs. Spider-Man and Black Cat fight at one of the labs, resulting in Peter coming into contact with the mysterious black substance being contained within the lab. Trying to explain, Black Cat reveals herself as Felicia Hardy, saying that she was working as a spy within Oscorp for years in order to solve the mystery of her father's murder, which Norman Osborn was tied to. Peter agrees to help Felicia, and the next night he wakes up with the black symbiote suit. Meanwhile, the Gentleman frees Harry Osborn from Ravencroft, giving him additional funding and an upgrade from that shitty design. Peter and Felicia come across Dr. Otto Octavius, an ex-scientist at Oscorp who had a part to play in the murder of Felicia's father and further conspiracies involving the Osborns. Spider-Man and Black Cat fight Green Goblin, Peter starts becoming more aggressive due to the symbiote, Harry and the Gentleman recruit Otto Octavius after he bonds with a pair of mechanical arms, all that good stuff. In the end, Peter separates from the symbiote and learns that Gwen would have wanted him to live his life, accepting a date from MJ. Next would be Black Cat. After finding out that Lonnie Lincoln, Tombstone, was the one who killed her father at the end of The Amazing Spider-Man 3, Black Cat goes after him, taking down members within his criminal empire to take vengeance for her father. I don't have much to say about this one, it would just be a basic espionage revenge thriller. After that would be Agent Venom. This movie would reveal that Flash Thompson enlisted in the US military after graduating high school. After being severely injured on the battlefield, Flash comes into contact with Peter's old symbiote, turning him into Agent Venom. Flash is sent by the military to investigate and take down a rogue organization known as the Life Foundation, who's harboring tons of symbiotes stolen from military custody. Agent Venom tracks down a bunch of Life Foundation bases across the world, fighting off various symbiotes like Lasher, Agony, Phage, and Riot. Eventually, the Venom symbiote spawns its own offspring, causing Flash to fight Carnage in the final battle. Then we would get Kraven the Hunter. This movie would focus on Sergei Kravenov hunting his half-brother the Chameleon across the world after a bounty is put on his head. Before Kraven can kill Chameleon, he offers him another job opportunity that pays higher in exchange for his life. Chameleon brings Kraven into contact with the Gentleman, who recruits Kraven to his team. The final movie I'm going to go over in this video is The Amazing Spider-Man Sinister Six. Peter starts to get his life back together. He dates MJ, he enrolls in Empire State University, and while Harry is still out there, he hasn't had to face a big villain in a while. Everything seems great until Spider-Man is randomly attacked by the Sinister Six, a team consisting of Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Rhino, Kraven the Hunter, Mysterio, and the Vulture. Peter is severely beat by the villains and has a tough time taking them down. That is until he recruits the help of Black Cat and Agent Venom. Spider-Man and Agent Venom end up revealing their identities to each other some point in the film, showing the development both characters have gone through over the years. In the end, Spider-Man, Agent Venom, and Black Cat end up defeating the Sinister Six. And those are some of my basic simplified ideas for what could have been the continuation of the Amazing Spider-Man universe. I know this was a shorter one. I don't think the universe should have been super long if it was continued, and obviously the Amazing Spider-Man Sinister Six probably wouldn't have been the final movie if it was, so there's still some story to tell after that. Before I let you go, I just wanted to say that we have some huge stuff coming up. My first short film is planned to come out next month. I'm going to be releasing my most anticipated video, the Spider-Man pitch, in June, and I have a big collab with Lewis Films coming this summer. If you want to stay up to date with these projects, I would really appreciate y'all dropping a sub. We're so close to 2K, and I have even more to announce when we get there. But for now, that's it. I'm done.